Hi guys, welcome to episode 39 of Breaking Through, the Alina Bovin podcast. This week, I am so excited to introduce you to Roxanne Saffaie. Roxy is a powerhouse woman. She's a writer, a speaker, and a mentor widely recognized for her work in guiding women towards self-mastery. As the host of the Roxanne Show, formerly BlackBeltBeauty Radio, Roxanne is a top 1% podcaster. She's done so by building a global audience, blending science, spirituality, and storytelling to inspire radical self-love, trust, and authenticity. Before becoming a self-mastery mentor, Roxanne thrived as a top celebrity makeup artist, an experience that taught her that true beauty truly begins from within. Today, she's a leading voice in helping women build unbreakable bonds with themselves, embrace their power, and create lives aligned with their highest truth. In this episode, Roxanne Saffaie takes us on a journey, a powerful one, into the heart, authenticity, and intimacy with ourselves. We explore how to self-trust, honest reflection, and courageous vulnerability are foundations for living a life that feels aligned and deeply fulfilling. Roxy Saffaie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So happy to be with you.
I'm so excited you're here. I feel like this was fated.
It was, for sure.
So our friend Matt Gottesman, for saying that correctly, because he butchered your last name. So I'll butcher
Matt. Talk about that later.
Right. He connected us.
Yes.
And you and I just immediately on the phone in the first 5 seconds, I'm like, I'm going to know her for a while.
Yes, I feel that deeply too.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
mutual.
And thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Before we get started, I really want to know about your story. What's your background? Where did you grow up? And what led you to the place in your life where you realized, I need to make a change?
I grew up, I was born in Northern California, grew up in Southern California. I am a sibling of a 5-pack, a wolf pack really. 3 brothers and a sister, older sister, so I'm second in the chain. Grew up just very athletic, very curious, always very self-connected, meaning like very introspective. I've been writing my whole life. So I'm a writer. It started from being a diarist, right? Just always turning to my pages to connect with myself more. In my childhood, up until the age of 12, there was a lot of hardship. Like some really hard shit. Domestic violence. I grew up in a house of violence until the age of 12, right? We all did. So you grow up very hypervigilant. It's very interesting because you just never know when, the shoe's going to drop and something's going to go down. And it was intense. And at the same time, I also look at my childhood and I see so much beauty. There was so much depth and meaning, especially too, when you have siblings and we are very tight. I mean, we were in it together. And so surviving was a group effort, you know? So it cultivates a lot of, again, connection, depth, meaning. And as much as there were memories and hardships that are not fun to kind of relive, there's also so much beauty in my childhood that I look back and I'm actually I'm grateful for all of it because all of it has forged the woman that I am today, right? I have walked through fire. And, we would later move out of that house and live with my mother. And we grew up in LA and lived a really healthy, sort of, I don't like the word normal necessarily, but, violent-free life.
Right.
And then I would say that I don't have a pivotal change moment to offer. I think what you would love to hear, what would be valuable probably to everyone listening is, for me, now at 47, I can look back and I go, what was it? Like, when was the sort of moment that you can pin as when you did that, you put yourself on your entire trajectory, like just started to kind of
consciousness changed.
I don't even know if it was consciousness changing at that point because I was a teenager. I'll explain. When I was a sophomore in high school and I was with my first love, gratefully, I had the best first love, and he's a surfer, I'm a surfer, and he was like, let's move to Kauai when you graduate. I was like, yeah, let's, I was like, that was my culture, surf culture.
My high school boyfriend didn't even take me to prom. So it's pretty nice.
No, I'm actually very grateful that my first love was the most incredible experience because
That's
that
very
sets up
important for a young woman.
absolutely so much soul. I mean, we were listening to Sade when I was 16. It was deep,
That was
you know?
deep, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I did that too. So I'm in the same boat with you.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I swim in the depths.
Yeah. Exactly.
In everything.
In everything. Yeah. It's where the truth is. It's where, substance, meaning.
Yeah. 90% of everything else just does not interest me.
Told you.
So besties.
Literally. And it is a consciousness thing. And we're going to go there deep because that's a big part of the conversation with me. Mm-hmm. That decision was so rock solid to me. Like, yeah, I'm moving. And I remember telling my mom, and, you know, both my parents are Persian. My mom is incredible, just, you know, beautiful Persian woman, just came to this country and made it fucking happen. And I said to her, you know, when I graduate, I'm going to move to Kauai. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, okay, you know, because I still had a couple of years. And then fast forward, I'm graduating and I'm packed and I'm ready. And props to my mother for not even trying to derail me or, you know, no, you have to go to call, you have to do it. It wouldn't have worked no matter what because my spirit is untamable. So that is not gonna, you know what I mean, fly with me.
Right.
But also my mom traveled the world. And so I think for her, it was really important to also support her daughter's wings when her daughter was like, I want to go fly. And this part is the part that I think now looking back was because there's so many moments that I could give to you about my life. And I'm sure a lot of things will come up where it was like, holy shit, that was a turning point. That was a breakthrough. That was, you know, you transcended through there. And it was, but this was when I made the decision, my life, my terms, my rules, autonomy.
At such an early age.
At such an early age.
What was behind that conviction? Because that's a bold statement to make.
Yeah, my heart.
Fresh off of high school.
My heart. Explain that's why I am the greatest advocate for trusting your heart. I am so deeply passionate. I literally say I feel like the heart's publicist. The heart needs a fucking rebrand because we've been sold a fallacy about the heart, that trusting the heart is reckless, that it's just, you know, emotional sort of disorganization. Like if you follow your heart, it's going to lead you to places that are
going to lead you astray. Either heartbroken, broke, or regretful.
Absolutely. And what's so important to realize is, and I'm very pro mind. I'm all about, I'm the mindset queen. That's my work. But the mind is easy to control. The heart is not. The mind's easy to control. The heart is not. And I believe that's a big reason why the fallacy has been sprinkled on all of our consciousness, because
controlled, not self-mastery control, but rather controlled by society.
Yes. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Yeah. Because the heart, they work together, your mind and your heart. It is a team. That's the goal. Like get your mind and your heart to be working in coherence, to be working as a team. We need the mind. The mind is like the masculine energy. The heart is like, hey, go feminine. This way. The feminine, go this way. The intuitive, this is for you. This is your path. Yes, no. And the mind says, got it, doing, building, going, right? And so for me, when you asked me what was behind that conviction, it was, I just knew in my heart that was for me. That's what I wanted to do. And it sounds it's very romantic. I moved to the North Shore of the most beautiful place in the world, straight out of high school. I was just surfing all day. I mean, I was living the life, but it didn't come without, it's actually attached to the hardest moment of my life to this date so far. I know there will be harder ones that I'm going to have to face.
What was that?
Leaving my brothers.
Oh.
Because up until that point, and I was 18, and especially go back to the earliest part of our childhood, I mean, I'm their older sister. And I'm talking like a year part. Like
Did you take care of them through the abuse?
In some ways, yes. My sister was really there because my mom had to run away. My mom had to leave at a certain point.
Because of the abuse.
Yeah. And so we didn't get to talk to my mom for 5 years.
And was the abuser your father?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mention that part. And I don't want to vilify my father, and I'm also not standing up for abuse either. I'm not protecting that. This is my story, my journey. It's just that I'm able to understand that, his behavior was absolutely fucking unacceptable. There were also a lot of things about my father that were incredible, that I'm actually grateful that I have within me. It's how it worked out for whatever reason. I guess my soul came here to experience that, So and I say my brothers not to disclude my sister, but my sister's older, so she had already moved out. So to leave my brothers, I remember staying awake all night, just crying and writing them letters. And they don't even know how this fucked me up. But I was on my way. I had to go. I knew it, I cried the entire flight. I remember getting on the plane and the woman's like, "Why are you crying? You're going to Hawaii." I'm like, "But I'm never coming back." And I cried the whole way until my boyfriend picked me up at the airport, and I just fell in his arms, and that started the rest of my life. And so from that point on, I continued to make decisions based on what I truly felt I wanted to do. I have a quote: "There are no shoulds that live in the heart. It's a sharp yes or a sharp no." The shoulding happens upstairs. And it's not easy to listen for a lot of reasons. And we can get into any of them if you want to. It's just not easy to discern, to know what's right. Nobody wants to, and this goes into another quote, nobody wants to make a wrong move. Well, I say that you can't make a wrong move when you make a true move. And those are the only moves that come from your heart. And every single move I've made, so I've moved to Kauai, and then I moved, years later, I lived on another island in Hawaii, Honolulu. From there, I'd moved to New York City. I didn't know anybody. I met, a friend a month earlier, and then I would go visit him. And I knew when I touched down, I can remember this day, I'm there right now. When I touched down New York City, I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta live here." And I had no plan. I had no nothing.
No safety net.
No safety net. This is a safety net. This has always been the safety net. That's why I speak so passionately and with so much conviction about trusting yourself. I don't sell easy. Nothing I'm saying is easy. It's not meant to be easy. I sell a mirror that holds the power, your power, that you can manage hard things. And in fact, it's for you to do so. We didn't come here to play small. We didn't come here to back down. We didn't come here to hide from our soul's evolution. We came here to experience the fullness of our being. And there's no way to do that without turning inward, befriending yourself, building intimacy with self so that you can actually feel your heart, know the difference of your intuition versus noise out here.
And fear.
Fear, should, all of it. Exactly.
I think that's what I was getting at when I said that moment where something shifted. It's also the realization of the decision you're making, because when you look back on teen years, you can make a decision and now you can attribute it to, well, that was my heart speaking to me.
Yeah.
But when did you realize that our sole purpose here really is to live and not live according to?
I speak about authenticity often, right? It's a big part of the work conversation for me. Throughout the years, the last 5 years specifically, when I come on to speak on shows, and I often get asked, how have you remained so true to yourself? And I always, it's like my writing, pithy, sassy way. I'm like, I don't know. I just came out with the fucking maverick gene and just give it to I call it the maverick gene. And I insert that here because, again, it's never been this one moment. For some people, it is.
Right.
For some people, it's...
For me, it was. And I think for a lot of people, that tends to be the case.
Yeah.
Because we don't make these decisions with full conviction without trial, failure, a little bit of growth, some maturity, some sort of destruction, humility.
Yep.
Then it brings you back to, well, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to work backwards, right? And,
Yeah.
and really get back to the essence of how we should be making decisions, which is from our heart.
Yep.
But for a lot of us who are not born, the maverick, I was always a dreamer. I was always the girl who had a lot of romance in her heart and romance for life.
Yes.
And I wanted to do the same thing. I studied French for 5 years because I wanted to go live in Paris and study at the Sorbonne.
I did.
But I never did it. Because I didn't follow my heart.
Yeah.
I followed what I was supposed to do, the safe bet. I wanted to move to New York City when I was younger. I wanted to be an actress. There was so much I wanted to do that my heart was screaming to me, this is you, and you'll so thrive in these environments, but I just didn't do it.
Right.
And then 20 years later,
I'm
not moving to Paris, nor am I becoming an actress, but I am living authentically now.
Well, you don't know if you're not moving to Paris
That's true.
yet. You're still so young.
I know.
I mean, we're still writing the story here, aren't we?
That's very true. That's very true.
I think, I love that because sometimes I often say sometimes the way to trust yourself is to not trust yourself so to never fucking do it again.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's okay. There's no perfect way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, my soul, and I believe a big part of perhaps in addition to the nature of my soul, but in my human experience, what has supported me, which is why I'm a huge advocate for this, is the writing. Because what the writing did was put me in the most safe, intimate room with myself where I can hear myself. I can share with myself. I can look at myself. I can express myself without judgment.
Right.
I'm not judging myself.
And there's a quote that says, when you write a problem down, you've already solved half the problem just by writing it down.
I love it.
And I'm probably butchering it because it's by someone else.
Yeah.
But it's so true. When you can put it in front of you and just with your thoughts too, if you can see it in front of you, you just can rip through it that much faster. You can make sense of it that much faster.
You can organize the meaning, the feelings, interpretation around it, right?
Especially with feelings, because again, another quote, when you can write it down and remove the feeling from yourself, it's like you're not drowning anymore with the current, but rather you're outside and you're now looking at it and saying, that's anger. I'm not anger.
Exactly. And this also builds emotional intelligence, right? And that's so huge. I think because at a very early age, through my writing, again, in addition to what I believe my soul just came here to do and to be and to express, I believe the writing really did me that service where it built the intimacy, self-intimacy. It's something I talk about often. I don't think it's mentioned enough, or even it's not in the consciousness enough, but it's, self-love, yes, but self-intimacy first. Because how do we love somebody? We have to feel safe with them. Right. And that is cultivated through intimacy. So I created that safety within myself. It allowed me to
give yourself more grace.
Yeah, be human, to know how to be compassionate with myself and not have this arrogant expectation that I'm supposed to be perfect and get it all fucking right. That is, I believe, a superpower of mine. That's boring to me. As an artist, I'm sorry, make it messy and then clean it up, figure it out. Because that journey is part of the satisfaction of creation. And that's human. That's the human journey as well. And so I can see that there have been messy moments and parts that I wouldn't want to relive, but I'm grateful that I had those moments. But what I'm most grateful for is the relationship that I've created with myself, so I don't judge myself in those moments and create a deep level of shame that doesn't allow me to connect with myself further and express myself further. Because I witness that a lot in people. The shame is such a huge block to so much of, first and foremost, the connection with their heart. And then when you can't connect with your heart, you're stumping your own growth, your own genuine evolution, right? So it's not a great place to be. And the antidote to that is to hold compassion for yourself, but it's hard to hold compassion for yourself if you haven't created that intimacy and that connection with yourself. So you know how to do that. You know how to self-soothe. You know how to feel your things and keep it moving.
How does someone build self-intimacy? And what does it mean to you?
The safest relationship that you can build within yourself. Mm-hmm. It's this sort of inner sanctuary where you go, I'm going to love you. I'm going to accept you. I got you. I'm not going to lie to you. Mm-hmm. I respect you. You can come to me if you messed up, if this isn't right, if it doesn't feel good. I'm not going to abandon you. And I'm certainly not going to betray you. So,
I love what you just said. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I think oftentimes truly loving yourself is being truly honest with yourself.
It's foundational.
Yes. And you said, well, I said, I got you. It's funny enough because I said that to Matt, not to him that I got you, but we were talking about what the actual phrase means, right? I got you. And it's such a beautiful thing to say to someone. And I would say that all the time to people in my life. Yeah. But I never said it to myself. I got you.
I love that.
Of course I had me, you know, I'd wake up and show up for my life. Yeah. But did I really have me? No, because I was always questioning myself. I was always putting other people first. And some people rightfully deserve to come first, like children. But still at the end of the day, there has to be that I got you to you.
Absolutely.
Where you are, and I learned this after my divorce because I no longer had anyone else's voice in my head. And so for a while, it was just either no one's voice or it was chaos. Right. And in order for me to really tap into my own inner voice in a very calm, clear way, going through a hurricane was the biggest transformation. Now I say to myself all the time, I got you.
No, we're good. And how does that feel when you say it?
Everything. The world is my oyster.
Right.
And everyone you meet them with so much more love and compassion because it's like, if you're not right for me, then you're not right for me. Yeah. But I'm not going to try to make something that doesn't work because I value myself so much more now. 1,000%. And I don't need to fill the space or the silence with people.
With filler.
Absolutely. Only the people and the material and the things that truly light me up.
Absolutely.
Because I myself, I can give that to myself.
Yes.
All on my own.
You're self-resourced.
Totally.
You know, so I love that you said that. For years, I've been writing this idea. You got you. Mm-hmm. Like sharing that. There is a we in here. When you can go from I to we, everything fucking changes.
Where do you think the disconnect happens? Where people lose that connection to themselves?
Yeah.
I mean, I can speak to being a mother and you lose that connection when you enter, the corporate world. Yeah. And then you have little kids to worry about. You're driving them everywhere. You're trying to be everything to everyone. Right. And you just lose the connection to yourself. It happens to all of us. And you can lose it even without having children. I've just brought you an example I can relate to. But I went through something to reconnect with myself. Mm-hmm. How can other people, where can they get started?
So the first place, I believe, for any change is decision. You have to decide. The energy, the frequency in deciding is so powerful. It cuts through the noise, right? And truly decide. I am decided. Foundational. Mm-hmm. From there, I mean, it really is going to depend on, it's like health, it's bio-individuality. Your needs are going to be different than my needs to optimize my vitality. I don't care how crazy your schedule is. With full respect, I say, I don't care. I'm just saying that we all have crazy schedules. Most of us, I won't speak in absolutes unless I can, but for the most part, I'm sure we all feel time poor, right? It's never
energy
enough.
Poor.
Yeah, it's just, energy poor is an interesting thing. I think energy is, you don't want to be energy poor, but yes. I'll tap into that because vitality is such a big part of the conversation.
I know you were going with that.
Yeah.
we're gonna get there.
What I believe is so important is just to say to yourself, even if it's 5 minutes, and don't underestimate that. Don't, what's 5 minutes going to do? 5 minutes built up is going to do a fucking lot. It's going to do a lot more than no minutes. Mm-hmm. Another quote of mine, inches make the mile. It's so easy to overlook the micro moves, but the micro moves make the macro.
Yes.
So 5 minutes just to be with yourself. Do whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you what your perfect 5-minute ritual is. I am, again, a huge advocate for writing, journaling. No, you don't need to be a writer. You don't need to be a poet. Don't even judge yourself, because this happens. I've thousands of women at this point I've talked to where it's like, it stops them before they even want to move forward. Oh, my handwriting sucks. Oh, it's like there's an expectation of how and then look at that if that is you, because you're already judging yourself. Where else are you doing that in your life and how that's stopping you? So if you can give yourself time with pages, blank, empty pages, I don't even know what I want to write, but I just want to spend this time with myself because I feel like it's the thing that I need to do or I want to do. And I'm curious to see where it's going to take me and just see whatever. The statement that you're telling yourself is, I'm worth giving myself out of my massively busy day time just for me.
And it grows from there.
Exactly.
And you'll see how it applies to other things. You will now carve out time to work out, to move your body, because that moves energy.
Yeah.
And then other things that will raise your consciousness.
You raise your consciousness, your vitality. It will bring you to this place of wholeness. That's what we want. What we all really want, I believe, to feel secure in ourselves. And that's going to look different for all of us. Like, what does that even mean?
I want to connect the dots here for a moment.
Perfect.
Because you mentioned following your heart, which to a lot of people, that is not a safe notion.
Right.
And then you talk about safety.
Yeah.
So what I'm gathering is that you can venture out and do anything as long as you feel safe within yourself.
Exactly. Many have, which is, if I can just be certain out here, if I can create safety out here, my job, my relationships, my whatever, all the things, right? That I'm going to feel safer in here. Right? If I can make certain of uncertainty, I will feel safe in here. Wrong. You don't want this to be certain. We came to play in the possibilities. And if you make it certain, there's no possibilities anymore.
No, certainty on the outside builds a fortress around you and your freedom.
It just builds, yes, absolutely. And you already know. What's the point anymore? Is it even fun? You get up so you just know how it all goes down for the rest. Like, who wants to watch that movie? I'm out. I'm bored. It's done. It's over. So we need to change this idea that we're craving certainty out here and understand what you're really reaching for is to have the certainty in self so that you can navigate uncertainty powerful and feeling safe and secure. That no matter what you're going to face, you are capable, you can manage the challenge, and whatever the outcome will be, you will not just survive that, you will find a way to thrive that. And this is not just, happy-go-lucky, positive. Yes, I'm an optimist, but there's realism in optimism, right? Like if something's hard, if something sucks, I'm going to say it like, oh, this sucks, but it's not over. But I'll get through it. But there's always going to be, I never end on a negative. Never end on a negative. That's like a little sort of tactic that, in my coaching mentorship, because it does make a difference. Like, why do you want to end on a negative? I'm going through a really hard time. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to go through this, but I trust that I will.
Right. So even in your affirmations or just your belief system, always end on a positive.
Always end. I mean, even when you hear me say it, doesn't it feel good?
Of course.
The frequency of because there's consciousness in words, right? And so the frequency of, if I just ended on, oh my gosh, I'm going through it right now and it just sucks. And I just, this is just kicking my ass. Boom, we're down here. Oh my gosh, this is so hard right now. I'm getting my ass kicked. This doesn't feel good at all, but I know it doesn't stop here. I know I'm going to get through it.
Right. But being able to say that with so much certainty, I think you have to go a step back because in order to really move through the world that way with so much self-love and self-trust, you have to be very dropped into your values. And a lot of people, myself included, once upon a time, my values were twisted.
When you say twisted, what do you mean?
I valued a lot of security, and that security I was outsourcing.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a sense of security within myself. I knew I could do certain things.
Sure.
But every time life threw me a curveball, I would, even though I'm a really strong person, I would lose myself.
Yeah.
Or I would anticipate losing myself. Or I would just feel so anxious.
Yeah.
Now it's different because
you got you.
Well, everything on the outside that was supposed to be safe.
Yep. Bye.
I took a sledgehammer to it. Let's put it that way. Just like bomb. Poof.
I love it.
And then I had to sit in the destruction and be really sad about it for a very long time, because you don't just do that and all of a sudden say, well, my values are different now.
Yeah.
But now my values are what truly, truly makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And how can I give from that place, which is a loving place?
Yes.
Just love. That's it. I mean, I thought the greatest thing in the world once upon a time was to have a huge house.
Yeah, of course.
Still love that. But the core of it is a place that can be loving and that can be created anywhere.
Yes.
But that sounds nice, right? I didn't believe it for the longest time. For 2 years, I was saying that, but I wasn't believing in it. And then something shifted in me where now I understand what that really means.
Well, if I had to guess, it probably had something to do with your upbringing. You didn't come into this world with that value program already just...
No, I would, I to a normal family, but definitely scarcity mindset where everything is constant. You're going to lose something all the time. You know, that fight or flight, survivor mode. Yep. A lot of immigrant, communities feel this way. 1,000%. And I was no exception and divorced parents, all that. Everything was thrown at me.
Right.
Where I'm like, the world is scary. You can't follow your heart because that's frivolous. Go get to work. Go be responsible.
But in addition to the family aspect of things, I think society in general has paved that route, like it and planted that seed of don't follow your heart, and even just the idea of what success is. It's all that. I mean, it still is this thing of like. And listen. I love luxury. I love money. I love nice things. My food tastes good. It costs money. I love it. I say that because there's no shame in the energy. I don't care. And at the same time, I'm a surfer. I'm in my bikini. I'm usually in, whatever. Like, I'm very grounded. It's not this. But what we've been fed is this image. It's the image of success.
I think it's the way we go about it. And it goes back to what you said. It should come from within as opposed to come from the outside in.
Yes, you want to be intrinsically motivated. So thriving and success to me first starts inside. It's an inside job. Yeah. If I don't give a fuck, if you have the most incredible home and all the money and all the things, if you don't like yourself, I'm sorry, you are living no life that I'd want. You are uncomfortable, you are unhappy, and if somebody is in that place right now, I'm literally holding your heart. So here's a way I frame it. There's pain on either side.
Right.
Pick your pain. You're going to feel pain from not listening. And even if it's not acute, it will catch up to you and you will feel it at some point. It might be a Mack truck moment, it might, or it will just start to slowly become this, kind of like ambient aching situation that you're moving through your life with. Or you're going to be over here on this side where I felt pain all the time, or discomfort, saying no when I really wanted to say no, and it disrupted things out here, or yes when I wanted to say yes. People didn't approve or whatever, even people that I love, maybe. But I still did it. Of course, I faced discomfort and pain in a lot of situations, but I chose that pain 8 days a week because I just couldn't betray myself. I couldn't go against this. I literally cannot. And it's really interesting to me because I think the more that you do it, like it's like the muscle, it just becomes your MO. You can't.
You get better and better at it.
Yeah, it just becomes more natural to you to move in this way. I also think that maybe my spirit came here with this ability to do it so early on, especially considering my childhood.
Right.
Like, that's a really interesting thing to me. I study that about myself. Like, how in the fuck?
How do you think your childhood contributed to how you give so much light?
Yeah. Well, because I never became a victim of my circumstance.
Mm.
In fact, I say my father is the victim.
And you said something really beautiful early on. You said it was a really dark part of my life, but there was so much beauty. And I wanted to come back to that.
Yeah, it was a hard part. I don't even know. Did I say dark? It's interesting. You could say dark too. I mean, it was so challenging for so many reasons. None of those challenges crawled into my self-identity and made me less than or turned me into a victim. In fact, there is something called post-traumatic growth. And I believe in my family, my brothers, my sister, I think we all went that way. Whereas like, if anything, that if I could survive that, I can fucking beat anything. I survived.
That's a big mountain to stand on as a kid. And what I think is really beautiful too, because you're a writer, when you have moments like that where there's so much chaos, as a child, you have the luxury to go to your room and just shut the door, right?
Yeah.
And that's when a lot of introspective work happens at a young age. I remember as a kid when I didn't want to hear certain things, I would go to my room, close the door, and I would have conversations with myself as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was as little as 10 years old.
Right.
But that's where that inner sensitivity starts to blossom.
Yeah. Show itself to you and
that this is there.
Right.
That this person is not resorting to Nintendo. She's sitting with herself, you know? So I think I recognize in myself as at a young age, I can be in this world. You know, my sadness won't consume me. If anything, the darkness will show me where there's light within me.
But truly, my mother is everything. And I mean, you talk about overcome, that woman, she has overcome. And the love that she has continually just given to her children, it's like, it's built me. It's built me.
What's one of the hardest things you had to watch her overcome?
Even though I wasn't aware of what was happening when she left, you know, because we didn't know. She was just gone. She had to, you know, and then she came back 5 years later and she wasn't allowed to see us. And that was, you know, that was my dad and being my dad. And so we didn't know what was happening, you know. I was 7. So I could say that was probably the hardest thing. But I think actually from this place now, I think the hardest part for my mom, it's like what she had to overcome is herself. It's so easy when you have a past like that to look at yourself and say, why did I allow this? Why did I, you know, and like put it so much on you. And look, I'm all about self-accountability. I love asking myself when I'm in a challenge, why did I create this for myself? What am I supposed to learn right now? What do I want myself to learn right now? So there's meaning to asking yourself questions. And I don't think it's not a negative. Absolutely not. But when it starts to, if it goes into the shame and the, you know, judgment to where you are taking it on, like you really did something so wrong. And in that case, it's like, well, sure, you make decisions, but it's not that black and white when it comes to a lot of things, right? Life is like great, so much. So I think just witnessing her forgiving herself and having compassion for herself, realizing that
takes a lot of strength.
Oh yeah. It's like, you know, I'd like to think that we're all doing the best that we know how to do in every moment. And I think it's so, again, it's this unnecessary pressure that we put on ourselves, also because it gets put on us from a very young age, that we should know it. We should have it all figured out. Like, why would you make that decision? Why would you? And it's so much pressure. And that pressure, once again, leads to that shame and that, you know, self-judgment. And all of that is just it's creating a disconnect from yourself, from your heart. And you now know, you see where this takes most people. Just,
I think what I've noticed is that people just feel disconnected from themselves. And second, they're not living authentically. And that's why so many people, despite everything that they can show for, or every box that they've ever checked off, they're not happy. And you talk a lot about living authentically. So, you know, how can someone live more authentically? Because all of this, I'm coming to realize, is very connected. You know, if you want to really be happy, yes, you have to strip away everything else that is draining you from living authentically.
Right.
Connect to your core values. What are your core values? For me, a core value right now is freedom.
That's my number one core value. And it's freedom inside.
Right.
It's not
so
just
what
out
do
here.
I do to build a life of freedom, which
Right.
is the opposite? And by freedom, I don't mean being, free in the way some people would think. Freedom means autonomy, independence, traveling, but it's about scaling back in order to do more of the one thing or the two things that you really feel authentically aligned to do, instead of doing 10 things that you're only connected to maybe 20%.
Well, I think I'd love that you bring in values because it's a big part of the conversation for me as well. I don't think a lot of people know what their true values are.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think, well, first of all, this is not stuff that we learn in school.
Mm-mm.
So unless you have a parent, a conscious parent.
It's not taught in religion either.
It's not taught in religion. Right. It's just not a part of the conversation when we're growing up. And it's so huge because our values anchor us in our decisions. They help to set our standards, what we tolerate, what we don't. And all of that is impacting our behavior, and our behavior is shaping our reality.
We're following other people's set of values.
That part, that's the part. And I speak to that a lot. In my work, I have future self work. And part of the work is to understand your self-identity. And I address that. I say, you might think that your value is to be the healthiest person. I'm just going to use that as an example. That's very noble, and sure, everybody wants to be healthy. But if you want to know if it's truly your value, then look at your life. Are your decisions, or your habits, or your behaviors showing that you are, because your values are going to show up in your life. What you value is already activated in your life. Now, that can really make some people uncomfortable. Like, no, some people don't want to face that because maybe they don't like certain things. And I say, I get it, but I'm still standing in that. And when you're ready to stand in that as well, you're going to start to make those changes because it's so crucial to know what you value. Freedom is my core value number one, but it's not just freedom for sure, I want freedom to express myself, create at the magnitude boldly that I came here to create, to be there if I want to do this if I want to, 1,000%, that part of freedom is real for me. But the real part of freedom that is so important, that ties back to your authentic self, is I want the freedom inside myself to be who the fuck I am in every moment. I don't want to shrink. I don't want to back down. I don't want to ever make myself more palatable for somebody. I'm not going to do that, because the minute you do that, you're not free. So that sovereignty is the result of you feeling, first of all, prioritizing how you feel about yourself and staying so rooted in this self-connection, in this being that you are, that even if you're going to have to face the fire and go through the challenges, by staying true to your authentic self, true to your values, that you've done the work and you've, now realized these are my core values, etc. True to the decisions that you truly want to make, like, you're willing to do that. You're willing to not be liked. You're willing to, and we can look back and survival, like the brain, this is hard because we're wired to want to fit in and not,
We're wired to want what's familiar.
We're wired to
what's been tested, tried and true,
Totally.
Freedom comes at a price.
It does.
And the price is holding yourself accountable in the midst of freedom, because we all still have to wake up and do the job that's going to provide us the sustenance that's going to give us the freedom. It's all connected. And,
it is.
It sounds fun to say that, but it requires a lot of responsibility and almost twice as much work. It's about valuing what's important to you. Do I want to be a kept woman and lose my voice? Or do I want the freedom to think how I want to think? It's really that simple. It's not even the freedom. I'm not going to Burning Man. That's not the freedom I'm talking about. I'm talking about the freedom to simply think for myself.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yes, exactly.
And that came at a price.
Yes.
And I find a lot of people have those inner dialogues with themselves, but they don't know how to act on it.
Yeah.
And they can't act on it until they get radically honest with themselves that this is what I need to do to get there. But in my humble opinion, life is all about that.
It is.
And true happiness can never be found, I don't think. true, I don't want to say happiness because happiness can be found in a lot of places, but true soul alignment, if that is important to you, can't be found until you're willing to let go of what isn't you.
But that's a huge part of the authentic self. It's the shedding.
Yes.
It's not just creation. It's not just adding. In fact, I think it's mostly shedding.
It's mostly shedding. And you would be surprised at how much better you can live with less.
Yes.
Because your soul is happy.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yes, you feel that. And, you know, some of this can sound ultra enchanting and some of it is. But
it's up to you how you apply it to make it work in your life.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be idealistic here.
Oh, no. But I'm inserting this to say some of it is. I think, you know, you said romance towards life. That is my language, girl.
Yeah.
Everything is poetry to me. Fuck, I can't help it. My life, my lens is very sensual. I see things and it's like, you see a leaf. I'm like, oh, is that all you see? Because I see a whole different, this is a poem right here. Just some full, like, you know, I truly do. It's real for me. The part that I also want to just put out in the world is that some of it, a lot of it is not enchanting. It's not going to feel romantic. It's not going to feel good. The reason why I want to say this is because when we talk about the soul and alignment, it can almost create this feeling or this interpretation that alignment's going to feel good. No, it's not. Alignment will feel like it's cutting you sometimes. It will. If you know that this relationship isn't for you, that means you're misaligned. And to get into alignment, you need to exit. So to move into alignment, and maybe that's your comfort zone, strangely, because even in negative, hard, unserving places, we've created safety.
Oh, pain is addictive.
Well, yeah, and it's because it's familiar.
Yeah.
Right? So it's easy.
And if you sit in it long enough, it's harder to get up, peel yourself off the floor. But once you do.
So
and you need the lessons and the mistakes and the moments to happen in between for that realization to come.
You know what I love about you?
I wasn't thinking that way. Something happened where I was faced with literally repeating my last 15 years all over again with a new person. And I was like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Get me out of here.
There you go.
I had a visceral body reaction. I was like, you on paper sound fantastic, but I'm going to put myself in a whole new box and I'm never going to be in love with you ever. I can just see it.
Yeah. But see, that takes so much guts.
And that choice revealed to me my real want, which is just give me that authentic, real love, because the rest is BS and I don't even want it.
Well, there's so much in that that's so beautiful and so powerful. I mean, first of all, I think what you do a really amazing job. I don't think I know. I feel it. You metabolize your experiences. Then you integrate.
I try to. Yeah.
Sure. Well, all we could do is try.
Right.
But because it's one thing to intellectualize an experience. Oh, I healed. Oh, did you?
But you have to witness yourself.
You have to witness yourself. And when it comes around again, like this guy that did, your integration point was no.
It wasn't even mental. It was physical because I had done so much work that now my body knows. Well, my gut feeling, my intuition has become so sharp.
Yeah.
And my energy that I didn't even need to think about it.
Well, the body speaks first.
It took 3 seconds to make the decision. I was like, My body just had a visceral reaction, simply it was over the phone too.
Oh yeah.
I heard what was being offered and I'm like, absolutely not.
Well, we have
Put me on a
3
train
brains
out of here.
We have a brain up here, the heart has a brain, and the gut has a brain. So to get these 3 working in alignment is the goal, right? So that's why being healthy. There? Well, that's why vitality is a big part of the conversation with me too. Being healthy, first of all, I don't even say healthy. I prefer vitality because vitality is the robustness of health. It's where you are most creative, you are most potent, where you can actually feel your body like that, just sharply. Your intuition is louder. It's where we all really want to be. And yes, then your health is more optimal as well, right? So it's kind of like they go together, right? It feels so simple to me just to kind of understand this, but So we are a soul spirit having a human experience. We are a human being living in a human world. This is a body that we have carrying our soul and our spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Most people live upstairs and disregard this thing called body until something goes wrong. And then even sometimes then it's not, people can live with something like you're bloated all the time, like that's normal. No, it's not. You're not supposed to be.
Right.
You're not supposed to be tired all the time. You're not supposed, this is your body telling you, hey, can you pay attention to me? Because I need some attention because something's off, right? And so, but here's why I bring that in, because I know what the difference of even just emotional resilience, the difference of someone, when you're in a body that isn't optimized for health versus when you are, that part. So if we want to think about how do I hear my intuition, feel my intuition, I mean, it never goes away. I'm not saying that you have to be in perfect health to hear or feel your instincts or hear your intuition. But I am saying that the stronger your vitality, the easier that gets. The more receptive you are, because your body is a channel. It's
those parts of yourself cannot be dormant.
No.
You have to turn the light on.
Yes.
Get physically moving.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one.
Yep.
But what about the mental and spiritual? How do people turn that light on if they don't feel it's operating the right way?
Well, so first I am going to say, and this is like the neuroscience nerd in me, like you have to look at your lifestyle. You have to. You are the product of your environment too, right? So what do you eat like? What is your sleep like? Do you need to clean your home? Because that right there can actually help a lot of people. Mm-hmm. If you live in clutter, I mean, if you're going to feel cluttered inside, and that's a real thing in science. Cognitive load is real, right? And so what are your relationships like? Do they give you life or do they drain you? Mm-hmm. And what's so important to do, and when you are, if you are going to put yourself through this sort of inquiry, is don't do it judging yourself. You cannot learn and judge at the same time. You cannot learn and judge at the same time. So you have to be a student and say, I'm going to investigate. I'm going to be a student. I'm probably going to run into situations like things that I don't like to see and that aren't going to feel good. But I know that nothing's fixed and that I can change anything if I decide that I want to. Mm-hmm. So I really believe that the first place to look at is your lifestyle. And lifestyle includes, again, are you happy at your work? What are your relationships like? And by the way, no, it's not going to be a New Year's resolution and everything just changes fast, right? Like we have to see what's like the low hanging fruit that you can fix sooner than later. Is it your home? Can you make some self-care decisions that aren't going to be a huge, big life change immediately? Like maybe it's just getting up a little earlier than normal to have a little bit more time to yourself, to not be going from alpha brain waves when you wake up straight into beta and like rushing, especially for women. This is so important. Men too, but for women, oh my gosh, like feminine energy doesn't like to be rushed. Mm-mm. And I'm not saying don't sprint. I literally am a sprinter. You got to know how to sprint. But if you don't know how to give yourself that space for your feminine energy to just exhale, because that exhale is you also just giving yourself the space so that you can move into your day with fire. Mm-hmm. But if you're wounded up all the time, you're rigid. And when you're rigid, you're fragile. And when you're fragile, you're easy to break.
Right.
So that exhale creates a softness that allows us to be supple, to move like fire into our day and kick ass, right? So look where you can make low hanging right here, right now changes. And then also look to where the bigger pain points are. Could be your relationships. It could be, I really don't like my job. And you don't have to figure it all out in that moment. But the first thing you need to do is look at it and be honest with yourself. And then I'm going to make a decision. I don't have to have the whole master plan right now of how.
Do you believe in setting a deadline for making a decision?
I think it depends. I think sometimes yes. But I think it depends on what what we're talking about, what we're looking at? You can give me an example if you want. I mean, that's such a great question.
Right. Well, it is relative, but I think having a deadline in mind, even if it's a vague one, will force us to make a decision, because oftentimes we'll sit with it forever. And then before you know it, it's been 10 years.
Yeah. No, that's a great
by holding
point.
yourself accountable to whatever the situation is, I think you need to have a realistic exit.
Because the truth is that you already know. What you're reaching for is the courage to make the move. And so that deadline can call your courage forward to make the move.
Right.
People think it's confidence. It's not. It's not confidence. Confidence is a result of the work that courage does.
Right. And you know what really breaks my heart sometimes when I just being an observer, right? It's part of my job as a journalist, but also now in this space too. I'm just naturally an observer of people.
Same.
And what I notice a lot of the times, and I say this with so much compassion because we all can fall into it. We look on social media, people preaching, this is my morning routine, and these are my life hacks, and this is what I do, and that's what I do. And everybody takes that, and then they take this other person's advice, and then this other person's advice, and then they have a list of 30-step morning routine.
Yep.
By day 3, they're not even going to get to 5.
Yeah.
And then they feel terrible that they didn't do it.
Right.
Then it's back to square one, the shame, the judgment. She can do it, and that's why she looks perfect. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and eat my Snickers. And self-loathing comes on, right?
Yes.
Or it's drinking, or it's anything, right?
It's sabotaging.
It's sabotage, and it's this sad little cycle. I feel people need to put all that aside. Yes, you can pick up a few nice, healthy habits from someone who inspires you and is expansive.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you're not listening to you, you're never going to get there. And maybe for you, it's not the same as this person's, spinach and eggs breakfast. Maybe you're someone who's going to fast in the morning.
Totally.
You have to listen to you. What is your body trying to tell you?
1,000%.
You're happier that way, because it's like, I'm going to do less, but be twice as successful for myself.
It's so important what you're saying. That's why when I said the 5 minutes, I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do in it. You do it. You figure it out. Because I don't know what's going to fill you up. Right. I can tell you, like I did, I believe writing is so valuable. Like if you can take to it, oh my God, it will love you.
Right. Whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you.
And I think that's so ties into everything we're talking about today. And I like to get really granular with this concept of you. I got you. Whatever works for you. Bring it back to you. Trust you, because everything starts from within.
It does. Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When I do this podcast, it's for me, because I'm genuinely curious. And I'm also doing it for my younger self. So each episode or each person I invite on is someone that she would find interesting and helpful.
Love this.
What would you say to your younger self?
God, I love you, girl. You just keep doing this thing called your heart and trusting yourself, because you literally will move into your dharma, and I am living my dharma. I am doing the thing that my soul came here to do. And what I know now is how uncommon it is to do that. And that uncommon move that I have continuously made has now put me in the position not to just be out here and speak or to share my words and my writing. I mean, that's all my soul. Exact same reason I started my podcast 8 years ago, for me first, right? So I love that you said that. The conviction that I speak with could only be here as a result of me truly being true to myself and to all the experiences I've lived, right? Like conviction cuts through the noise because it's authentic. So I'm not trying to be motivational. I'm not at all. I'm like, oh, people, motivational speaker, like that's not me. I didn't try and become a coach. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just allowing my soul to express herself. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm inviting you to think about how you think and then ask yourself, how does that make you feel? And is this giving you the experience that you genuinely want to have in your life? And so I would tell my little Roxy, like, fuck, I know it's hard, but keep going, girl. You're on it. Trust yourself. And that's the message really that I have for everybody, is to trust yourself. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying that you can do it.
I wholeheartedly, I feel everything of what you just said.
Yeah.
Because I'm living there too now.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to get here, but it's such a beautiful feeling because everything just makes sense after that. Because you see life through just a very different lens, a more honest lens, a more loving lens. And I did that too. I did a lot of shadow work in the last 2 years where I had to confront my little girl self and ask her, what do you want?
Yeah.
Because I'm 39 now. So if we don't figure it out soon, girl,
yeah. Yes.
I don't want to waste any more of your time.
Yes.
So let's figure this out. And I did. And I really figured out that one thing that she's always dreamed about in her core.
What is
totally. It's just to be this benevolent soul and to find a match in someone else of that type of heart.
I love it. Yeah. You're calling it in.
I did everything else but that.
Yeah. Yeah. For the reason to be here now, to know that about yourself and to hold yourself in that energy and to call in that which is actually for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can get so lost in everything else.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's like you look back on your life and you're like, that was it. It was that simple. But I overcomplicated my own life. I overcomplicated my own life by telling myself everything I needed to do. Like eat the 3 eggs in the morning versus that or that or that or that or that or that. And it's exhausting and it'll burn you out. And it did. It almost killed me because I was living 19 different lives instead of this one thing. One thing that if I started there, everything else, all the other stuff would just align in a much easier way.
Right.
And I just want to make sure people understand what I mean by this. It isn't that everything else isn't important. It is, but that's not the starting point.
Right.
You shouldn't start at the outside. You start at the inside.
Yeah.
You can still have a great career, great friends, a beautiful home, a structured life, all that. But if the core is not operating from its North Star, you're just going to run in circles.
Absolutely.
And chaos will follow.
Right. Until you get on track. And sometimes, I mean, I think it's so important to say that too. I don't want that path for anybody, but if sometimes that's going to be your path. You know, the idea here is to wake up, to do your best. This is why I'm such an advocate for self-awareness. And I always say self-awareness is not Instagrammable. It's not flashy. It's not, you can't wear it. You can't sleep with it. You can't drive it. You can't put it in the bank. And yet it impacts every single aspect of your life.
But
everything.
You can feel it.
What's that?
You feel it.
Self-awareness? Yeah. Well, you do when you're turned on.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You feel it. And people see it in you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you start calling in the right people. And the right opportunities.
Right. Because the consciousness now is, you have a connection to your consciousness. That's the part. And a lot of people don't until you get to that place where, and that's why the power of decision, again, is so important. Even if you don't know where to start, right? Just decide that matters to you. Because if it matters to you, you're going to make intentional decisions to figure it out. And that journey is going to look different for everybody. Books, listening, this, writing, whatever it is, going to the top of a mountain but let it be honest, not a costume. There's another angle I can give to you. We're here to feel things, to experience things. We're not here to have this unscathed, perfect, report card of our spirituality. Fuck shit up.
It's the journey. And it's the learning that makes it fun.
Yes.
Because think about it. When you learn something, the next morning you wake up, you've already forgotten 90% of it, right? So it's not about what you necessarily retain. I think you will retain what is true for you.
What matters to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But it's the process of learning. It's like the destination versus the journey analogy, right? It's